Just do this. Hi, this is Amir Anzor. This is Reality TV. What we're going to do is take a few students, if I can call them that, and help them achieve their goals over the next month or so, or hopefully even over the next year. And what is going to happen is some of these students will want to start a business. Some of them will just do it as a side hustle. Some of them will start a get into their career or ideal goals. And so what I thought was that I might as well record it. So when you are looking at the internet, you always want to what's called leverage your time. The word leverage means if you can get more of your time back, right? So one of the things is I'm going to be doing this time anyway, right? I was going to spend some time with Christy and Fatima. And so if I record it, it becomes content that can be watched by other people. They can benefit from it. And then hopefully as these guys maybe even start a business or whatever they want to do, other people will have heard about it. So we will get some marketing out of it. So because the challenge that we all have is that we come up with ideas and we start these ideas and then nothing happens, right? Because or we launch the idea and then nobody buys, right? But you know, slowly you get one customer and then that one customer turns into two and then you know it goes forward from there. So today we're going to be learning. This is not going to be a program which I do like 80% of the talking. It's going to be like 33, 33, 33. It's not that I'm going to be teaching Christy how to do her business. She will have input from Fatima. She'll have input from me. And if you do want to join the program, you can do so. We're going to be doing this reality TV every Tuesday at 4 p.m. London time. So today's program, we're going to get some introductions from Christy and Fatima, what their backgrounds are and what they want to achieve. Because one of the biggest things that you can do when you want to succeed is know what you're trying to achieve, right? Because if you know your outcome, your goals, then you're already, your journey has started. At least you know which way you want to go. And then the how we can help figure out, right? Whether it's doing self-research or the three of us can help each other. So Christy, we'll start with you. Just tell us where you're based, a bit of your background. And yeah, so let's just first start with everyone's background. So I'll start with mine and then we'll go around Christy and then Fatima. I'm Amir Anzor. I'm based right now in Islamabad. I was based in London last couple of years. I've been living around the world. And basically, I am passionate about teaching people about starting and creating businesses. If you look on my website, you'll see people that have started multi-million-dollar businesses. I'm still figuring out things myself. I haven't figured out everything, but like part of my passion is this reality TV show to see these businesses succeed. Not everything makes it, like, you know, not every student makes it, but the ones that stick at it do, right? That's the key thing that I want to instill is that it's not easy. It's not like this time next week, all of us are going to have a business and it's going to be generating business money. But if we stick at it, we persevere and we push each other, we can do it. So that's my background. You can check me out at amiranzor.com or just LinkedIn or any of the social medias. Go ahead, Christy, your background.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amir. And thank you, Fatima. It's nice to meet you for the first time. And also to Amir, thank you so much. Yes, my background is in nursing. I'm a nurse by profession. I did what we call adult nursing or general nursing, and also I'm a midwife and I'm a mental health nurse. So I live in the UK and currently I work as a clinical nurse advisor in the UK, in the NHS. So my passion has been around health and well-being, you know, helping people to create health awareness and also alongside as well, giving back to the community. Okay, so I believe in this strong word that said, I give not because I have, but because I have known what it looks like, not having any. So that had been my passion, trying to help people live a healthier lifestyle, and also extend, gestures to, charitable gestures to people that are in need. So this is the little I do. And also, I am the CEO of a Well Woman Network UK, which is the organization that pioneers this vision and passion that I have. So yeah, when I met Emir sometime last year, he came to our event, and also he gave us some gift, and that gift is so valuable. That was the book he wrote at the time, Wethology. So, and after reading the book, in fact, it was the first or second page that I read. I said, no, I'm going to reach out to this person. So I reached out to him, and I could see in him, there's a lot, embedded in him. And we all learn from cradle to grave. So since then, I've been, sometimes I reach out to him, I share ideas with him, I tell him, what I want to do and all that, because I know from him, there's a lot, he can, in as much as I have the idea or I have the vision, but then I need, some people that can help me bat it. If it's in my term as a midwife, we call them midwives. So when you have a vision, you need a midwife to help you bat it. So Emir is one of those that I class as my midwives that can help me bat this vision. So I'm happy to be here, and also I'm happy as well at what this will turn out to, because I literally met him at 3, and then he told me Fatima will be coming. I said, here you go. I'm going to hop in and be part of this meeting. So Fatima, thank you for allowing me to have part of your space. Okay. All right. So that's little me.
Awesome. Thank you. So Christy runs this, the Well Women organization. She's based in London. Nigerian background?
Yes.
Nigerian background, wants to do good. But what I was telling her is, let's try to make some money and make some for-profit business that generates some income, because when you're always giving, and it just always takes away energy. And if you do a for-profit business, you can you can do more of it, right? And the challenge that, like if you come from a Nigerian type background or Pakistani like Fatima and I do, there's a lot less sort of cash than if we aim at a British market or the American market, where there's a lot more money. So we're gonna figure out businesses, and then we're gonna figure out businesses and then figure out how to do it. But I will explain to you over time where there's money, right? So like, that's from years of experience. And then we're going to try out things, because as I said, I will give you hypothesis of here's what we're going to try out. And then some things will work and some won't as much. Okay, go ahead. Fatma, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, so I'm Fatma, and I have a degree in software engineering. I graduated from NUST, Islamabad, in 2016. I am basically from Islamabad. So after I graduated, I did a job as a customer success engineer, which later on, pivoted to business analyst. But my heart and my passion was always towards writing. So then I saw this opportunity in content marketing. That was the first time I wrote on, public channels. Before that, I just used to journal and, wrote essays that my teachers would like and appreciate. So then I started my journey as a writer. I learned content marketing in B2B SaaS space. And later on, COVID happened and I couldn't continue my job. So I took, a few jobs at marketing agencies, and then I wrote in different niches for different niches. But you know, being from a technical background, I always wanted to write for technical products. So that's how I got introduced to my previous job. That was Integri.ai. I joined it as a senior technical content writer, but later on I moved to product. So I now claim as an associate product marketer manager. So the thing is that I've hopped on a lot. So I've changed different roles, and I think that I still haven't found my, true passion. Sometimes I enjoy writing, sometimes I enjoy interior decoration and design. And sometimes I want to, own a bakery and be a really good chef and, service people in that area. So that's how that's why I want to take this program. I want to see where I end up, what my strengths are, and find my true passion, I would say.
Okay, perfect. I think when we spoke, you mentioned that, yeah, you had done quite a few different roles, and you were maybe a bit paranoid that you were hopping around too much. But I would say
Yeah,
it's perfectly normal, especially in the tech industry, to move
yeah.
around these roles, to get that experience. It's all good for you. Now, where did you hear about me, by the way?
So I did an internship with Webpreneur Academy. That was back in 2015 or
Oh.
so. Yeah. So I think you came to NUS too, and you spoke at a seminar as well. That's how I got to know you. And a lot of my connections know you, and we all, used to talk about you. So that's how I know who you are. So
Okay, perfect. So
yeah, way
that's
back.
great. So this is great, but like just because I want to teach about the monetization process, what I did was I just posted a link on LinkedIn, said something like, if you're interested in joining this class,
Yeah,
send me a DM. Like two people send me a DM. You were one,
yeah,
and there was another guy. But I said I just made it like a 5,000 rupee thing, which is like
yeah,
$20. But the point was because I wanted to make sure that they turn up and get, interested in the program. Of course, sometimes it's not worth your time, but you start with something, right? Even if it's free clients or nominal thing, because whatever business you want to get into, you'll start by building that confidence. It's not just about the money. Money is just a transfer of wealth, right? Like a transfer of value. If you look at and study money, it's just a paper, right? It's a number in a database. So humans have made that up. And some people will charge, $10 for a bottle of water, and some bottles will be for $1. And so, if people are willing to pay for those different amounts, right? And Fatma, I've read your content. It's really well written. So you're really an elite writer. That's a really powerful skill to have in the internet world, because if you can be a good copywriter, that means you can convince people to buy your products and services, and that's what we need to do. Now, I don't want to convince you to start a business, right? Because that might not be the right answer for you, and you might not be interested in it. And are you currently looking for a job, or
yeah,
okay? So
yeah.
maybe
So
go ahead.
yeah. So I am currently looking for a job to, support my family.
Yeah.
But the most important thing I would say for me right now is not money. So I can survive without, working for a while. But for me, it's to find what I'm best at. Like I see there are a few people who enjoy their work so much that they cannot wait to go to work, and they enjoy it so much. And I don't think that I found it yet, something that I enjoy so much. I think I have, but sometimes maybe it's limited. There are some constraints to it, money, time, energy. So I think that's the thing, that I want to find my passion. I want to see the thing that would make me, want to go to work every day.
Perfect. Perfect. You will find it. That's at least you're searching, right?
Yeah,
And it can take some time, but
yeah,
and also things change. So like what I wanted and what I was doing at 35 is different than 45, etc. Right? So your
yeah,
life progresses, but like as I will say to Christy and both of you, is that what I'm teaching is a life of hypotheses. You make
yeah,
a hypothesis, you go towards that as a business or as a business or as a career. You go into it and you realize actually what I told myself isn't what it's turned out to be. Then you change then you take a different direction. So
yeah,
that is okay. What I would encourage you guys to do is to write out your goals, right? So why don't we take a couple of minutes now to share if you guys are comfortable, because what goals like now, bear in mind most of us have similar-ish goals. So it's not fine saying something that's so uh personal to you, but if we can share our goals, right? Then we are going to be more driven to achieve, right? And once we remind ourselves of our goals, it is really, really a powerful tool. I'm in several like WhatsApp groups with I've in one group, for instance, I have two multimillionaire friends, and basically the three of us, every month we meet up and we discuss what it is our goals for that next month. And also we have a WhatsApp group that keeps us motivated with our goals, right? Now, we can also start, what I will do is start a WhatsApp group so that we can carry on like during the week, because we'll only meet once a week, and we can make it a half an hour or an hour, up to an hour maximum meeting, depending on how we're progressing. But what are some of your goals that you want to achieve? Christy, you want to start?
Okay, thank you so much. So just like Fatima said, she said she hasn't found her, what she really wants to do. Because I see her as a lady that wears so many hats, from business analyst, copywriter, just she does a lot. So the only way I managed to find out mine is there's a time when a job will stop being a job to you, but rather, you leave it. It becomes your passion. So my one is anytime I happen to put a smile in someone's face, it makes my day. So and I've seen that in my years of nursing. Okay, there are good days, there are bad days, but most times when I finish with my patients or my clients, depending on the job role I have at the time, when I see any one of them come back to say, "Oh, Christy, thank you so much. Christy, you're such an angel," it gives me joy. So that's one of my motivating factors, apart from the money, because in the UK here, we pay a lot of bills, Emma can bear me witness. He knows how we work here. So we earn the money before the month finishes, it's all gone. Okay. So now, part of my goals now is to achieve, um, um, a kind of something that will help people, keep people company, brings a smile to their face. People that are just, going down, maybe not because of their own making. A family had left home, the children have left home, they have lost their partner, or one thing or the other. Even they might have lost their job, they might have lost track, with a lot of things. So I'm looking at a situation where I can raise an organization that can provide companionship to those kind of people. Just in a simple term, I just want to provide emotional, help people with their emotional well-being. Okay, because these kind of people we're looking at now are people that cannot, they can't go to their GP and say, oh, I'm ill, because doctor definitely will not diagnose anything. Yeah, but there's an issue there. So these are the kind of people that I want to have a sustainable service that can, help to put laughter in their faces, and also in so doing as well, not draining my pocket or the pocket of those that will be assisting me to do that. At least we having something, in order to provide those services to those people. So this is my goal, and I hope and I believe that how I'm going to achieve it, I don't know. But I'm just looking for a time when we will revert back to this video, and I will see myself having actualized it. At least it will also encourage someone that will be watching us now, or somebody that will encounter our our meeting today. So that's my goal.
Perfect. Look, loneliness is a big problem in especially the UK. Like I've been in the United Kingdom, and so I think in maybe even in Europe more so, but UK definitely. And there's charities like Age UK. Now the challenge is what I've learned over time is if you solve rich people problems, you make more money, right? So if I come and solve people's problems in Pakistan, I will likely not make as much money as if I solve people's problems in United States, right? Or United Kingdom, just because they make much more money. So if you solve lonely people who are rich, right, their problem, that is likely to lead because they will have money to pay you, right? But if you are trying to help someone on benefits, it's a lot harder to get that income. So this is just, the challenge is for many of us, because we want to help the poorest of society, is that we automatically gravitate towards that in the beginning. But what I would say is like, think, okay, if I have to segment the loneliness problem, maybe I start with the richest, like of society, and how can I help them? It doesn't mean, you can go for all of it, but you're gonna make more money helping the richer part of it. In UK, you could work with charities as well, like Age UK, but there might be segments, right? You might help the lonely Nigerian immigrant population. One of the things that I encourage you guys to learn is euology. Euology is the study of you, right? So like I'm putting all these courses together. I'm just updating them. You can go through them, but basically I want you to be aware of studying yourself, right? And when you're studying yourself, you study your parents because they had an influence on you, and your parents and what their dreams were, right? So if your mother wanted to be a nurse, then maybe that's why you became a nurse, right? So your parents, like their dreams might have an impact on your thing, your uncles, some heroes that you watched in the movies. For instance, I loved Forrest Gump as a movie as a kid, and that had a little bit of an influence on the way I live my life. And so my dad was civil servant for Pakistan, So I wanted to give back to that society and come back, you know, and do something here. So, you know, those dreams and thoughts is something that I would encourage you to think about as well. So that what you dreamt about as a kid, maybe Christy, when you were a teenager, what did you want to do? What did you want to do when you were a teenager? Was it a nurse?
No, actually, when I was a teenager, I wanted to study political science because I look at myself, you know, I just want to be someone that can stand out for people, you know, help the government to make right decisions, you know, somebody that can fight corruption. So I was looking at going to study political science. And the next one I wanted to do is food and nutrition. So I wanted to either do food and nutrition so that I can come out, you know, and make lovely dishes for people, you know, make sure people eat, my family eats the best and all that. So those were the two things in my mind. But growing up in Africa, we so much rely on our parents because whatever our parents say, is the final. We don't argue with them. We don't at all. So, and it happened that my dad passed on early when we were young. So we were brought up by our mom, who is a teacher, and she was so tough. She was such a tough woman at then. When I was about to make a career choice, so she told me that I would be a nurse. And then I couldn't argue because if I argue with her and say, no, I'm going to go to university and do this, who is going to pay my school fees? So I just accepted it, but inside my heart I was just boiling. So, and then when I finally got admission to read nursing, my mom was so happy. The first day I got to nursing, I was just like shaking. So where I was shaking, I met another girl. She was afraid as well. She was anxious. So we greeted. I went to her and I greeted her. I said, how are you? She said she's fine. I said, are you happy to be here? Oh, she said, no, she's not. That is her mom that asked her to be here. I said, of course, myself. My mom asked me to come as well, you know? So from there, we made friends. We became friends from day one. So that's how I started. And then from my first 6 months in nursing, because first 6 months determines whether you are going to be successful in that course or not. Because if you don't do well, they will kick you out. So, and then I started the first 6 months, I was like, every time I was just panicking. Then when they were sending me on a practical placement, they sent me on the toughest ward in a teaching hospital. So I got there and I survived there. And also the matron there liked me, everybody liked me. So that now gave me, a lot of buffer to say, listen, you can do this. So academically, I was okay. I was very fine academically, but my worry was the practical side because I was someone that when I see someone bleeding, I wouldn't even, I would just run away. Once I see blood, I'll run away. So I was wondering, how am I going to cope, doing this course? So, but that first 6 months, I put through the theoretical session and then went to the practical as well. I saw myself, I did so well. And I gained the favor of the matron of the ward, gained the favor of the staff there, everyone, So that really gave me like a stability and I just carried on. So going into nursing wasn't my first priority at all. It was not even in my agenda. I can't even think about it. But my mom said that I have to be a nurse and I don't have to argue. So that's how I saw myself, came into nursing. And since then, honestly, I haven't regretted it. Every time I look back, I say, may God bless my mom. She's still alive. And every time I call her, we speak on the phone, I always say thank you to her and all that because she helped me to identify my purpose. I wouldn't have, known what my purpose is. So that's how I got to where I am.
Okay, great. I mean, the thing is with nursing, it's like helping people, right? So there's a type of person that goes into nursing, they help people. We are all going to make money from helping people, right? We're going to find products and services which help people in some way and then charge for them, right? So the first thing that the homework is going to be, because you want to start that business, you're going to be thinking about, I think you wanted to do the loneliness thing. I'm going to ask you to do some research on other businesses that exist that other people are doing that you could copy and then make better and put your own spin on to do, right? So and these businesses, they don't have to be by yourself, right? Initially, part could be your research, but later on you could partner with some people. You can employ people. Don't worry about the how just yet, right? And then you mentioned that you like helping people on nutrition. There's 3 different types of basically the big categories that if you want to sell information, like what I do, one of the things I do is I sell knowledge, is the 3 categories are health, right? Which is what you do, what you can do, health, wealth, which is what I do, which is like helping people create business or money. And then the third is relationships, right? So those are the 3 main categories. The other 4th one is called irrational passion. So it's a 4th one, but that is like golf and all these sort of activities like singing maybe. So if you go into those 4, you can create products and services that help people in there as well, right? So Fatima, what about you? What are some of your goals?
Yeah, so first of all, I'll share my short-term goal. So the short-term goal would be to, find a job that would make me happy and that doesn't want me to, that doesn't make me want to rip my head off because, sometimes jobs do that. So I want to find a good job. So that would be my short-term goal. And the thing you said about irrational passion, I think my long-term goal has something to do with that. Maybe learn a musical instrument, start a bakery. But I'm still not sure about that because, um, I was never given the opportunity to, or maybe, uh, as you're also based in Pakistan, you'd know how people treat irrational passion, right? That's just something that maybe we can do in our extra time that we cannot pursue as a career. So I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about my short-term goal right now.
Okay, and so what is an ideal job that would make you happy? Do you have some hypothesis? Like, is it the work environment? Do you want to work from home or do you want to work in an office? For
Yeah.
instance?
So the thing is that due to my husband's job nature, I have to move around a lot. So every 2 to 3 years, I have to, change my station, change my city, change my house. So an ideal job would for me would be to, flexible hours because I'm a mom and I have a toddler, and sometimes it's very difficult to work, with her. So I won't say that I want to work for 3 to 4 hours every day. I would say that I want to work 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes I want to work maybe 8 to 10 hours. So I want a job that offers flexible schedule, flexible hours, and that allows me to work from home. So that would be an ideal job for me. And about environment, so I don't want to work in a toxic environment. I want to work in an environment that helps people and encourage people to be creative. That's what I want from a job.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, if someone's watching this, they can get in touch with you. But do you know, like, do you want to be in like content writing or product management, or yeah, do you have?
Yeah, so I've recently shifted to product management, and whatever I've experienced so far, whatever I've read about product management so far, it has been amazing, because learning product management is an amazing experience for me. So I would want to pursue in product management. Writing is something that I would say my passion is to write, and I feel content in when I'm writing. So I would want to write as well, but I want to pursue in product management as well. So these are the two things that I want to carry on.
Okay, perfect. Look, there's a lot of opportunities for both of these. And
Amir, can I ask a question, please? Fatima, do you say project management or product management?
Yeah, so it's product management.
Product or project?
Product.
Oh, product. Okay. Okay.
product management is basically like when you're building an app, you have someone that says, these are all the features I want, and they are basically like a project management because they talk to all the different elements of creating software. But yeah, so it's a really it's like the head, it's like the CEO of software.
Okay.
Yeah, so
might be
it's basically a CEO of a feature, the person who decides what to work on, when to work on, prioritize, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you have a clear goal in mind about, a feature that aligns with your business. So that's what a product manager does.
Okay, just like say here, maybe if I want to, somebody might ask you, like a GP might ask you to develop an app, wherein the patient can book in, book appointment and things like that. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have a number in mind that you want to earn?
Yeah, so like I said, that I used to earn 1100 USD at my previous job, and that would be my base. I would want to earn that much in my next job.
Perfect. So maybe we could aim at 1500, and then
Yeah.
if we get 1100, that's great. But yeah, so that would be good. Okay, great. Okay, so that is great. You look, that's perfectly reasonable. I'll show you, like, if you look at a good product manager or a decent product manager in the UK, in London or the US even, they're charging about $500 a day, right? So like like you can justify those types of figures, especially like you have to get rid of a few they're called limiting beliefs that come up.
Yeah.
That, oh, I have a toddler, I have this and that restriction, I have to move around, because everyone now is working from home, or 30-40% of people are working from home. They have the same distractions. You have the same sort of drawbacks as anyone else. And so you can demand as much as other people working globally. You went to NUST, maybe outside Pakistan is not as well known, but it's one of the best institutions in the country. And what I believe in, when you go to a good university, just builds your self-confidence that you can do it academically. And so basically, I think this is perfectly reasonable. How are you going about applying for jobs? Are you reaching out to your network, or are you applying online? How are you doing it?
Yeah, so I'm basically using LinkedIn, my, peers, my other product managers on LinkedIn. I'm reaching out to them. I find job openings on LinkedIn, and that's how I'm going about it.
Okay.
I've applied, I would say, like 20 or 30 places, but not more than that, because I wasn't very active previously, but I started applying actively in January, mid-January.
Okay.
And so far, I've got 4 interviews.
Perfect. Perfect. That's great. I'm just gonna refer you to one other community. I'm not into like promoting religion or anything, but basically, there's a Muslimic makers. They're based in London, and they
Mhm.
have basically they have a community for product managers, and there's always jobs there. So there is a, like, check that out, because there's a community, and then you can pitch there. They don't need to know that you're not in Pakistan, that you are in Pakistan, right? Because
Right.
London, you get to connect to this community.
Right. So I wanted to mention one thing, that when I'm applying to different US-based companies or European companies, they do offer remote work, but they want the person to be located there. So I haven't been, successfully found a job that is 100% remote and allows me to work from anywhere in the world. If it's a US based company, they say that you have to be there.
Uh, yeah, you just gotta keep going, because uh there will be some that don't do that, right? So there will be some that do that. So you just, because I think there's some US companies that have to employ people in the country because of security reasons or data breach and data security reasons, etc. But there are going to be there's going to be, like, I know people that have been my former students or employees that have been employed, and they're earning good income on that. But if you're getting to the interview stage, are you getting to the interview stage?
Yeah, so far I've gotten 4 interviews, but they're all Pakistani companies. None from
Uh,
the.
okay. Okay, you want to work directly for American thing. What I will do is I'll introduce you to another lady. She's based in Finland.
Okay.
And I'll just ask her and just say that you're a good product manager if there's anything on that. Yes.
Yeah, that.
Her name is Amna. She just moved about a year or two ago. But she was one of those that was working with me and said, like, look, I want to move to the Nordic countries, Scandinavia, and she was able to do it, you know? And so, like, she might have things. I'll ask her first if she's
Okay.
okay with an intro, and then you follow up with that. Yeah, her name is and then remind me in a couple of days if you don't hear from me. I'm gonna create a WhatsApp group with the
Hmm.
three of us. It's gonna be called Reality TV, and then we'll do that. Okay. And then if you do want to do a bakery, look, a bakery, there's a physical element of it, right? There's pros and cons of a digital business versus a physical business. In a digital business, if you start, let's say Christy starts doing the loneliness thing and it doesn't work out, the most she's spent is like $20 on a domain name, and she can close the business, right? But if you start a bakery and you pick the wrong street to start it on, because not as many people are going, you
Yeah.
spent so much money on rent.
Yeah.
And if you really do want to do a bakery, and one of the challenges that you will have is that your husband, is he in the army?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to move around every 2-3 years, right?
Yeah.
So by the time that you establish it, unless you really partner with someone, and
Yeah.
if you're in a completely remote part, I don't know how you're gonna do the bakery, basically.
Yeah.
Because basically, it depends on where you are, and then you want to be close, because bakery involves like a lot of people things. So if you can find someone to trust that can take money, and then it's going to take a bit of your investment, but at least you can start, if you do want to do it, you know, you can start researching it, you know, like how much.
Yeah, yeah. So, as I mentioned, that bakery is not my, near time or a short-term goal.
Yeah.
I see it's maybe 20 years from now, 10 years from now. So, with time, if they do get settled on big stations like Islamabad, Karachi, Lahore, and if I do get a chance to, establish it there, that would be, that would be it. I'm not like aiming for a bakery right now.
Yeah.
That was just a wild thought or maybe, a
Yeah.
dream for me
But
because
then what I would do is see if you can work at a bakery for a weekend or a week, you know, like if you're in Islamabad or whatever, like
yeah,
you know, take some steps to do that, right? Or meet some people that run a bakery and ask them how it is, right? And see what it is. Like for instance, I thought I wanted to go into politics at one stage in my 20s, and I met some prime ministers, and I realized this is not what I want to do. Like because you know they get backstabbed, it's like a dirty game, and all these other things that I learned. But because I took some steps on like following that goal and that vision and that dream, I found out, okay, that's not what I want to do. And I changed my course and said, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. So in that same regards, but bakery, I would say because, yeah, like, and also you can earn more money doing what you're doing because
yeah,
of your talent that you have in product management and this, because if you're good at a product manager, you can make like $5,000-6,000, right? Like you know you can make one of my product managers that I just introduced someone with, he was asking for $8,000, right? And he's sitting in Pakistan. So you can go to that level as well. Yes, but you got to build up your brand. Now, one of the things that I do teach about is building your personal brand, right? So there are people that are leaders in product management, right? And if you
yeah,
get seen as the leader in product management, you are more likely to get hired, right? So you can build up that brand by creating content on LinkedIn on product management, not just I'm looking for a job, but like, you know, here's
Uh,
the top three
uh,
things.
Emma, can I come in as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Say with our project as well, she can actually build she can also help us in, developing you know, um, our our project, like okay, we want to have a platform, to look after people that are lonely. Okay. So part of the product you might be developing there or you can manage is to possibly help us to build an app, um, that will help people, that will help us to track such people, our audience and the service, the ones that will be our service users, and also an app. Um, yeah, so an app that will help us to, get these people wherever they are. They can link up with us anywhere they are, and also we'll be able to follow them up.
mm,
And yeah, just something like that. Maybe,
Yeah.
just like Emma said, as we go along, everything will just be coming out. So you might, find yourself, doing that for us in the due course. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's what came to my mind. I said, let me just chip it in.
This is very interesting.
Yeah, Christy, the thing about an app is you got to do some research and do a lot, because a lot of people, they go straight to building an app, and apps take a lot of time and money and energy. And what happens is they launch it and then not many people use it. So you've got to do a bit of research. Your first couple of weeks or first week is going to be doing that research, right? And then because tech people, they get often asked, like, you know, like you could organize some volunteers, if you like, from the community that can do this, because you could find people that are lonely and say to them, hey, if you're lonely and you want to do something about the loneliness problem, we are doing this project together, right? And so, you know, you find people in the UK that might be able to help you with that thing, right? But look, it's the thing about reality is you're making it up as you go along, right? So we are making it up as we go along and do this, right? So the other thing, so both of you will create your brand over time, right? So you got to figure out what your brand is, because there's your short-term goal, which is to make $1,100 that you said, but I'd say aim for 1,500, hopefully do that. And then but the mid and long-term goal might be like make $4,000, right? Doing that same sort of thing, because once you get that experience, and if you're good at what you do, you can get to that level. It doesn't mean, you know, a lot of these companies, they'll hire you, especially if they hire you from abroad. That's why it is better to go with like a big non-Pakistani company, because they will give you rates, but basically go for that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Christy, I want to suggest a book that I read a couple of months back. It's called The Mom Test. So this book will help you found a product, you know, an app that you're looking to build. So it has all these tests and all these, you know, concepts that you have to learn when you're building a product. So it's called The Mom Test. It's really good.
Okay, the mom desk.
Test.
Yeah, The Mom Test. Yeah.
Okay.
Ju-
Okay,
just
do you
give-
mind typing it on the chat box for me, please?
Yeah, and also, Fatima, just give a two-minute executive summary, because what I like people to do when they're listening to you is learn something. So rather than saying the mom test and go read it, say, by the way, the mom test says, and 1 or 2 points that you learned from it.
Yeah, so the most important thing about the mom test is that when you're working on an idea, right? And you tell it to your mom, she's gonna love it because you know she's your mother. But the people that are going to use the product, not like they're not related to you, and they're not going to spend on your product just because you know you built it. So you have to build the product. You have to, you know, talk to different people, talk to different stakeholders who are, you know, your potential customers. So that's what the book is all about. When you're thinking about something, how should you, you know, approach your customers? How should you approach your potential customers and users of the product? And it has different tests that you can perform, the questions that you can ask the people who are going to use the product.
Okay.
Awesome. So
Thank
look,
you.
we've got 5 minutes. I just want to give you some homework, right? Because most of this work is you doing the work for you, right? This is just a check-in. It doesn't have to be an hour. We can cut them down later on, but this was like an introductory session to get to know each other. Christy, what did you take away from today? And what can you do by next week?
Okay, so what I've taken away today is that you know, I have actually captured the opportunity to meet with these amazing two people in front of me, Emma and Fatima. And also I've been able to, you know, share myself, what I do and who I am and where I'm based, and also being able to share my goal, which is, having an organization that will look after people that are going through emotional problem, cap it, call it loneliness. So I want to be a source of succor to them, providing companionship to them. So this is both my short and long-term goal. And also from today as well, following the discussions, Emma has actually motivated us. He has asked us to first do some research about organizations that do the same thing that I want to do, and see where my vision can resonate with what they are doing, and and copy basically what the stuff they are doing, and see how I can tweak my around it. And also he has also asked us to um think about building our personal brand, and also look at organizations or volunteer, people that can volunteer, and find people that are lonely that will be needing our services. So basically, I'm going to go back and research so that by next week I will come back with some answers. So I formed the hypothesis today, and also Fatima has asked me to buy this book or go and read the book, The Mom's Guest. Yeah.
Test. Mom
Guest.
test.
Mom
Test.
guest. Okay. So I'm gonna look for the book and lay my hands on it before we meet again next Tuesday.
And sometimes what I do when I'm asked to read a book is I just go on to YouTube and I search for the author or the name, and then just find a summary, right? And go for it, because sometimes you'll get overwhelmed by too many things. But you're but the mom test is good. Great. Fatima, what's on your plate? What did you learn today, and what can you do by next week?
Yeah, so the most important thing that I learned today was that we have to let go of the limiting beliefs. And another thing that I always find challenging is, finding my passion or writing my goal. So I think we get caught up in our day to day, and we do not sometimes see the bigger picture. So I'm going to dig deep into who I am and what should I do, and what should be my goal to, that would lead me to betterment or towards the innate capabilities that I have. Then what you said about personal brand, I've been thinking about it, about posting on LinkedIn, posting content about product management, but I still am a bit hesitant. I don't know where to start. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, and I see a lot of content related to people's their niche, whatever it is. If they're content writer, if they're product managers, they write about that, and I don't know where to start because of a limiting belief that I am new to this field and I cannot write as good as the experts or the gurus in this field can. So I think I have to let go of that limiting belief. I will start posting on LinkedIn. I will think of a topic and start writing about it, and I will make a strategic plan about my job hunt as well.
Perfect. Yeah, because I think you posted that you were looking for a job and you got good response out of it.
Yeah.
So like you can post about, yeah, look, to a third grader, a fourth grader is a genius, right? So to Christy, she didn't know about the mom test, right? So you could start with, you don't know where to start, I'll tell you where to start. The mom test, right? So like basically, if you have a persona like Christy,
Mm.
that you're like, actually, I know more than her about this thing. The challenge we have, and I had to get over this as well, is that we are scared of putting ourselves out there, right?
Yeah.
I wrote a book and I hardly sent it out to anyone because I was like scared that people will like not like it. And then I went to an event that Christy was organizing with like 200 women, 200 people, and I gave it out to everyone, like 200 copies. And then and then I had limiting beliefs of being on TV. I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to be on newspapers. I didn't want to be on media. This was before in the early 2000s. And then I wrote down, and this is from a guy called Tony Robbins that I learned about limiting beliefs. And I was like, okay, what is stopping me? What's the difference between me and Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and all these gurus? And it was that they're on camera, like they are famous, and I am not. And I'm not because I don't want to be on TV. So now, for instance, we've created a TV channel, but you have to be on TV because that is like the basics now, right? So now, like a simple thing to do is just create a reality TV show by recording it. Now, the three of us will be on this reality TV show. We can share it with our groups, like maybe someone will watch it. And it might take some time to catch on, but that's reality TV and people will learn from it. I also have a limiting belief that what I was teaching was not good enough, right? But then I had to write out all these people that I've impacted that I didn't even think about. Like, for instance, Fatima, you were an intern working for me like 7 years ago, and I totally like, it was just it was a brief moment for me, right? But like I've struggled as an entrepreneur for many years. And basically, I want to make it easier for other people because it's not easy. Like the journey you're going on, even in the job and finding a job that you love, or in Christy's case, starting a business that she will create wealth with. It's not easy. Like if it was, everyone would be doing it. Most people are in mediocre jobs that they don't enjoy, living lives that they don't really find passion in. But what I want for you guys is to love what you're doing and to earn a good income doing it. And you'll do that by being the best at it, right? So if you are the best product manager in the world, you will make more than $10,000 a month, right? That's 10x your income. Yes. What I would also like over time, you could even write a book on product management, right? I'll show you how to do that if you so choose, because then it'll be, if you're an author on that thing, then, people will be like, wow, she's like, we create that brand. I would also encourage you to buy FatimaRashid.com, just like I have AmirAnzoor.com, and reserve it so that you do that. Go to GoDaddy and do it now, because I'll put this on reality TV and I don't want someone to do that. Yes. And so that you because I used to think, when we were doing Webpreneur Academy, I was teaching people, sorry, someone's taken FatimaRashid.com. I always like to check, but this is, yeah, but you could do .org or something, or yeah, a combination. But
Emma, what about mine?
yeah, let me check.
Yeah. ChristyAmalo.com.
Let me see. Christy
Malu.
Malu.com. Someone's just parked it. So
It's free.
no, it's not free. Basically, the way you get a domain is you go to GoDaddy and you type it in, I'm spelling that right? And
Yeah.
you go search and someone's taken that one. Both of yours are taken. Sorry. I can't
Must have
imagine.
taken, who answers my name? Because my name is such a unique name.
Yeah.
Emma, I can see https christyamalu.com. I
No,
think
let
it's
me just
available.
do it like this. See, in the reality TV show,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my team, but they will use the affiliate code of GoDaddy so that we can get sponsors, right? So everything
Yeah.
I do and you guys do, we need to think about monetization, right? Making money. Yes. Making
Yeah.
money is just a game. So what we will do is do this. Maybe it is free. Let me just see. Let me see if it's free.
Okay.
No,
It's free.
no, it has the HTTPS.
Oh,
Let me just see if it has that. You could also do .co.uk. I don't recommend .co.uk because I think you should make a Christy Amalu is taken.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
But you could do
Oh,
christyamalu.org.
okay.
Christy, you could do Christy Amalu. What else can I suggest? Christy Amalu .co. We could do like .io, for instance. christyamalu.io.
Or we can do the .org.
Yeah, .org normally means that you're a non-profit, but yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you said it means that I'm not, sorry, Emma. You
Yeah.
said .org means what?
Usually .com means that you're a business, global business, and
Okay.
.org means that you are a non-profit. But
Okay.
I think it's fine. Like,
No, we leave org then. We because yeah, if there's one thing we have learned today is about how to create our personal brand and monetize what we're doing.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would rather go for the one that will project me as a business.
See, it will be a business, but like, like actually we could do .net. Let's see if you want to do .net. christyamalu.net.
Okay.
So if you want it, you go to GoDaddy
Okay.
and it's gonna cost you £12.
Okay.
And you can just type in christyamalu.net and then do this.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I want to launch a book sometime this year. And
Okay.
maybe after this, I will discuss it with you.
What do you want to do the book on?
I want to do write a book on the power of companionship.
Oh, okay, perfect. We can talk about it. Let's talk about it next week. I don't want to keep you guys too late.
Okay.
Like, that could be one of your goals. And do that. I will create a WhatsApp group if you guys are interested. I'm not Fatima, I've already texted my friend in Finland for the product management role. If she comes back to me, then I'll introduce you. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities out there for you. Just keep going. And as I said, that limiting belief of you can't post content, you already, and they find this in studies, women especially often totally underestimate their skills compared to men. Men are, men will take an exam and they'll say, oh, I aced it, and they'll get an 82%. And women will come back and say, oh, I didn't do so well, and they'll get a 96%. And I've seen your writing and your skill set. It's really up there. And you don't have to be in a role for 5 years to be an expert these days. You study hard, you study 1 or 2 books on product management, like the Mom Test and 1 or 2 other books, and take 1 or 2 courses. You're already in the top 1%, right? There's another great guy, I think it's Alex Hormozi or someone who was saying, if you can study 20 hours on a specific topic, you're already in the top percentile, right? So you're already there. Don't downplay yourself and be like, oh, I'm not so good. I've job hopped and all these things that go in your head that are like the negatives before you go into a job interview. Go in with a positive, go in with enthusiasm that I really love product management. And why do you love it? I've been a product manager actually when I think about it. And it was like, I remember the questions were like, why do you want to be in product management? And I was like, oh, it's like a CEO, you're problem solving. And I just showed enthusiasm. I wasn't that great, but I just, I came in with enthusiasm. And then also they're like, what's your favorite app? And then I found an app, like this app called Citymapper. And I'm like, oh, I just love the way it's built. And, you could say Easy Pesa or something. It doesn't matter what you say, but when you say it with enthusiasm, you get the job, you get the interview and things. So enthusiasm is like key. It's infectious. People want to work with you when you're enthusiastic about it. Yes. So let's catch up next week if you're both on for it. We'll progress. And one thing I assure you, if you keep putting in the effort, you turn up, your life will get better and it'll get to that next level. But you have to put in the work yourself, right? Whether it's turning up or doing the homework. Yes. And you have to believe it as well, because many people, they don't take any action about improving their life, right? They just hope that it does, or they pray, but they don't take the action. So you have to you can do the prayer, but take the action as well. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
See you all
Thank you.
next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.